5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Friday Night Freestyle. We know that you weren't expecting us, but here we are anyway, and we'd love it if you join us. We're glad you're here tonight, and we're glad to be with you, talking about some great stuff coming up with the Goin Batty channel. So you might be out enjoying your evening, but later on there will be things that we'll share, and you can watch them later on the rewind. So anyway, I just wanted to say hi, and it looks like we've got some people joining us. We are fully going to just enjoy our ADD and kind of talk about a bunch of different stuff, one of which is right behind us. We're going to talk about Thrive Life tonight, and we're going to talk about some things that maybe you didn't know about Thrive Life, and we're going to talk about Heather because she's got some stuff to tell you, and we're just going to have a little fun tonight, so we're glad you're here. Hi guys, hi, Forging Freedom is here.
I loved your video that you did on
good.
the succession planting. I have got so much to learn because I just thought like you planted stuff and then it was done.
Mindy, how are you? Rural Homesteader is here. Kelly Hoffman is here. How are you guys? We're glad you're here tonight. This is the Friday Night Freestyle, which means we will be talking about everything under the sun.
Wherever our ADD takes us.
That's right.
And
Melody.
It's bad because both of us can be that way sometimes.
NZ Mermaid, trucking it up. How are you guys? We're glad you're here. You know, I find that coming out and doing a show on Friday night is sometimes a better thing for me and our family than being in front of the old boob tube watching all kinds of junk or getting in all kinds of mischief.
Well, it's funny because we don't really watch a whole lot of regular TV because there's just crap on TV anymore.
It's true, and
we watch a whole lot of YouTube.
We watch you guys.
We watch you guys.
Is what we do.
Oh, that's a good idea. So we learn all sorts of new things. So that's a lot of times of what we're watching. So
that's right, and we really don't watch too much TV, but we watch enough to be dangerous. And we kind of got into the Flash a little bit. We like the Flash. It's most of the time relatively clean, and
yeah. There's every once in a while we have to stop something and not watch an episode because there's something that conflicts with our moral values or something like that. But
Melody, I'm sorry.
But,
I didn't mean to mistake. I didn't mean to pronounce your name wrong. I'm sorry.
Oops.
And so I will work on pronouncing names better. I know. I'm making people mad already.
Don't do that.
I know, right? Well, that's the thing. Hanging out with you guys on Friday nights seemed like a good idea and a lot of fun, and we wanted to just kind of talk about random stuff. You guys have watched our Wednesday show, so you know a lot of our updates, but there are other things that maybe we didn't go into depth on when we were online on Wednesday, and we're just going to take a little bit of time now and go into depth on some stuff that maybe you guys had questions about, maybe you'd like to know more about, and maybe there's something else. So
it's medley.
That's
not
weird.
Melody, medley.
I wonder if there's a connection. It says it's okay.
I have. We're fine here.
Yeah.
So I think it's just you.
It must be the boy, Mr.
Just
Peanut.
the boy. Okay.
Your chats aren't coming up. Well, I think everybody else is okay, so maybe you just need to start your tablet over again. Mr. Peanut is in the gallery and he's having a little technical difficulties.
To moderate and stuff.
That's right. I have slowly over the years just gotten to the point where I watch very, very little TV. Nothing too much other than cool stuff to do. There's too much other cool stuff to do.
Yeah.
I wanted to show you some cool stuff that's going on the homestead. As you know, we're cleaning up, and we're gonna be getting out of here in a month, and just a little over a month. And one of the projects that we've been wrestling through is there's these pieces of a tree that are in the backyard that we need to get going on, and I had my son take a picture of what he's been doing. So if you look at this picture, I don't know if you can see it very well or not, it's a little bit hinky. Maybe you can make out a brown blob right there. I'll get close. There you go. You can see it better now. Hi Claire, how are you? It's Friday Night Freestyle. Welcome. By the way, you're welcome to ask us any questions on the Friday Night Freestyle you want. We are a family-friendly show, but put it in caps because we won't be able to see it if you don't. But anyway, if you look closely into this very odd block of wood, these are huge tree stumps. And I know you can't see it, but Max has been cutting away at these slowly and just doing a great job. That was full size when he started. And so there's a good shot of it. You can kind of see it. It's tough to see it on the thing, but he has just been working his tail off, and we've just been really excited about some of the other things that are going on. But anyway, I wanted to show that to you guys. We took a road trip today, and it was kind of funny because we went up 42, State Route 42 in Ohio. And you know, there's some good places up 42, and we're gonna make a short video about that.
It's not going to be like our 4-part video where we were on State Route 53.
Right.
There was a lot of history on that. Now, 42 is more, once you get out past Xenia and stuff, there's a lot of farmland up there. And we went almost all the way up to Dublin, Ohio.
Yep.
Which it's interesting because in Ohio, you can go to Berlin and Dublin and London. I mean, you can go all over the world and never leave the state of Ohio. We even went to New California. And I probably like New California probably more than I probably would like Old California.
It is a blink and you miss it town for sure. Yeah. Hi, Danny. So we have a question already, and it is from Mindy. She wants to know, Heather, will you wait to start your homeschooling year until after you get settled into your old new house?
Yes. Yes, we are. We already discussed that. I have put a call into the school system that we're moving into and have heard squat from them, which is kind of their MO. So the good thing is one of the things that we recommend for people, and it has been recommended for us, is to be part of the Homeschool Legal Defense Association. It costs like either $100 or $120 a year, but the thing is that everyone that I've talked to has said it's kind of like having insurance a little bit. Like, you may never need it. Like, somebody may never come knocking on your door asking why your kids aren't in school or whatever. But if you do, you have a crack team of people behind you. But the other thing, too, with the HLD, I forget it, Homeschool Legal Defense Association, is that you can look up what are the state laws in your state that is required for homeschooling. And a lot of times, states will tell you that you need to submit more than what you have to. And what the Homeschool Legal Defense Association does is they will have the forms that you need. Like, I know for the state of Ohio, I have to have a intent to homeschool form, and I have to have an assessment of the school year that I did last year, or they have to take some sort of standardized test. We don't do the standardized test, so we have our portfolios evaluated, and I have to submit like what a vague description of the curriculum that I'm using this year, and usually the vaguer the better, because that way they can't come back and say, well, you didn't actually do this. So it's pretty vague.
Mama Cat, you are part of the Homestead Legal Homestead.
Homeschool.
The homeschool. That wouldn't be that would be funny if there's a Homestead Legal Defense.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right.
The HSLDA. The entire time we homeschooled and never needed it, but it felt good to have it.
But like I was saying, like if you have questions about homeschooling in your state, they can answer it. You can. I shot them an email one time about the state of Ohio because we went from homeschooling in Maryland to here. And within less than a day, I got a response back on what I needed to do for the state of Ohio. And it's kind of nice because when you send your forms in and it has the Homeschool Legal Defense Association on it, I feel like I have a little more backing me than just my word, you know, because they can come back and say, well, you need this form. Well, no, I don't, because on this paper that has their emblem on it, they say I only need this. So
I have a question for you. Forging Freedom asked, speaking of homeschooling, did you guys see the episode by the Resistance Chicks regarding the Safe Schools program in Australia. Public schools, terrifying.
We have not seen that yet.
We've not seen that. We've been on the road all day.
We've been on the road all day.
I don't know
so
if it was
it
today
came
or
out
later.
either today or any time like last night. We haven't seen it yet.
Feel free to ask us questions about homeschooling too.
Yeah.
We are. It's funny. I don't feel like our summer is without learning. I feel like while our kids are in the throes of summer, there's still a lot that they're learning.
They've gotten all of their art done for next year.
Oh man,
we've got sketchbooks full
artists,
of art. So we don't
good
have to take art next year.
It's not a joke. I mean, they're good artists. But also, I mean, they've done all of their chores on a regular basis. They have done a multitude of other things. So I just, I celebrate that.
Medley, I'm not sure what SOL is. It says
not doing SOL.
Yeah, SOL.
School online.
School online.
How do y'all get by not doing SOL?
Well, the school online.
You know what? That might be a test or something.
That might be a standardized test.
Yeah, I don't know what SOLs are. Here's the thing: in Ohio, our kids don't have to take a standardized test because Heather's accountable to what you would call an assigned mentor or someone that she chooses, and that is the person that reports things to the proper authorities. I'm not explaining it right.
Standards of
learning.
So in every state is different, and I'm not sure, Natalie, where you are, but in Ohio, you have to...
as we understand it.
Well, no.
We are not experts.
As it's been told to us by the Homeschool Legal Defense Association, is, like I said, they either have to take some sort of standardized test, or I have to save pieces of every subject that they do from beginning, middle, and end of the year. So I had probably about 50 pieces of paperwork for them through each 3 periods of the year that I sent to an evaluator, and she evaluated my portfolio to make sure that they were making progress, that they were doing, what we said that we were going to do.
Yep.
Excuse me, I'm burping up that stupid pizza that
we had some pizza on the way home.
We had pizza on the road. So,
yeah.
And so we don't have to do, if we don't want to, any kind of standardized testing.
Yeah.
When we were in Maryland, we didn't have to do that either. There's certain states where they're very strict. Now, states like Texas, I have a cousin who she homeschools in Texas, and all you really have to do is tell them that you're homeschooling, and that's it.
We are suffering from a poor connection on our internet, so I'm going to shut a few of our tablets down and make sure that our Wi-Fi is doing okay. But we're not giving up, so if we get cut off, we're coming back. We just need a second to turn off some of the Wi-Fi that's in the house. We do have some questions. Mindy Hoffman. It said, I'm trying to get this thing turned off.
So is it, that's great, I've heard of them. I'm
off.
starting Sarah homeschooling for kindergarten. Do you recommend the HSLDA?
Yes.
This early? Yes, I do.
Yes, 1,000 times yes.
Just because what you may find is that the required age of schooling. Mm-hmm. Because in some states, they actually, what was it? It was either Maryland or it may have been Pennsylvania. Mm. The required age for a child to go to school is actually 7.
Yeah.
And which I think maybe in Pennsylvania would have made sense because of the large Amish communities that are out there.
Yeah.
But, you're able to look up and say, okay, so I think Mindy does live in Pennsylvania.
Yep.
You can look up, and I know that their homeschooling requirements are a little more strict than some other places. Mm-hmm. I know that the curriculum that we use, it is geared towards meeting the standards of the state of Pennsylvania because it's one of the stricter ones out there. Which is nice because then I know I'm covered here because we don't require quite as much. As
here's the thing. As with anything new, it can be scary and you can feel alone when you're doing it. Our first year of homeschooling was I wouldn't say tragic. I would say it was just tumultuous. because our kids were getting used to not having to live up to those standards, and those standards were put on them by a secular economic standard that we don't live by, and so we had to kind of detox from some of the public school system thinking that they had. And there's even, I think if you're going to homeschool, don't homeschool alone.
Yeah.
Get people around you that homeschool. I'm not saying you have to be in a co-op, and I'm not saying co-ops are good or bad. We've enjoyed a co-op. We're not a part of one now because of our move to Dayton and other reasons that we won't.
I think co-op kind of helped us our first year to get our bearings.
It surrounded us by people that we could ask questions.
Because we were alone. We didn't have any family around us, and the lady that ran the co-op that we were in was the one that was like, I went to her and we don't know what we're going to do. We have a son that is just, public school is not working for him. It's not.
Yeah.
And she looked at me and she was like, well, you would be the perfect candidate for homeschooling, Heather. You're creative. You're fun. I'm like, yeah, but I'm not focused. I'm not focused. She goes, you don't have to be. And she goes, and that's probably a good thing for him.
Let's go to the rural homesteader, because they make a good point. In Missouri, all we need to do for homeschooling is document hour and subjects.
Yeah.
That's very similar to what we need to do too. There are samples of work that Heather needs to submit to, I would call her a mentor or account.
Yeah, but I
whatever.
think maybe what they're talking about is they have to just kind of submit like a vague curriculum and then how many hours they do.
There usually are support organizations to help people stay in compliance with the state regulations. I know there's countrywide support group.
Yeah.
Trucking it up. Got to go pack a bag and head to the house. I'm home for the weekend. Y'all have a good weekend. Trucking it up. Thanks for joining us. We're
because
glad
I know he's on the road a lot. So go spend time with your family.
That's awesome. But thanks for checking in with us. We're glad to see you. There are a lot of resources out there, and one of the most frustrating resources I think that I've encountered is when the public school system sends us their help. Whether in Baltimore had an entire department that was committed to helping homeschool families, and I use that word loosely. It was a beautiful elderly lady who rarely got back to Heather.
Yeah, I had to. The one thing that I'm finding, it was in Maryland and here in Ohio, is that I have to make numerous phone calls. I can't email. They don't ever answer back with the email. And one of the things that the lady that checked my portfolio told me is when you send in, because I have to send in now, the other thing I have to send in my signed portfolio review saying that I did what was supposed to be done. And she said, always, always, always send that by certified mail, because somebody has to sign for it. And then you have one copy for you. Oh, excuse me. Oh,
pizza.
One copy for them. And so when they sign for it, they have to sign for it so that there's a way of tracking saying, yes, I did send this in.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. I think you have to understand that you can plug that in here if you want. That whenever you guys are starting on something as new and just out of the box like homeschooling, every sense you have is going to be attacked. Every value that you have, I've had very good friends all but call me an idiot. We've had family members that kind of look at us weird, like, you're doing what? That's what the public school's for. Well, we've had a family member look at our daughter and go, well, you'll have to go to public school sometime because you need a diploma in order to go to college. And it's like, it's funny.
You can print one off.
You don't need a diploma.
Yeah.
What you need is a transcript.
A transcript.
And that's different.
Yeah.
The state of Ohio will show them what we did, and email. Amy is putting in her 2 cents here. Email is better than phone calls. I'm a special needs mom. If it isn't written, it never happened. I use that as general. That's a very good point, Amy. And
I probably need to be doing both.
You probably need to be doing both. But the certified mail thing helps us out a lot because it makes them sign for it. And if they won't sign for it, then we know where we stand.
And the one thing that I will tell you, Mindy, is that have a little grace for yourself the first year that you do it. Because I looked at Kevin after our first year and I'm like, I think our kids may be dumber than when they started school this year. But the thing is that I had to unschool myself. Because I'm like, okay, so I had it all set up, and they all had desks, and it looked like school only in our house.
That's right.
Well, we have a son that he does much better when he can just sit on the couch and kind of relax.
Big family homestead.
Yep.
How are you, man?
And you know, where he's not sitting rigid in a chair. Now, Jack, our middle boy, does great that way. He can sit there. He's got his space. He's got everything set out where he can see it. And you know, so I had to learn what worked for each kid because every child is different. And you know, this has been our second year, it has been easier to kind of ease into the school year.
Absolutely.
And so now we're going to be moving on to our third year, and we will be starting school probably second or third week of September because we're going to be moving, and that's kind of nice because that gives us that flexibility of we don't have to get them there, get them in school, make sure that they're, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Here's the interesting thing, folks. Nationally, look at this thing nationally. Nationally, people are in droves moving to the homeschooling and onlining option for their children. As I look at the school system and I think about the bullies that I had to endure and the bullies that my kids almost had to endure, because let's be honest, now with the internet and everything else, it's 10 times amplified. Okay? They're crueler. They are more relentless because they have phones and internet. And they are always seeking for a way to get under their skin. I am very excited that we've been putting boundaries around our kids about the internet, but they're not enduring some of the things that they would have had to endure and been totally distracted from learning. It would have totally distracted them from seeing things that they're loving. I fully believe that Katie, Max, Jack, and Miles are thriving because they haven't been relentlessly picked on or distracted by girl drama or whatever.
Or they're not spending 6, 7, 8 hours at school. Well, I mean, if you count the time that you're on the bus and then you're at school and all that stuff, and then you come home and it's like 4 o'clock, you have another 2 hours of homework. Well, that's 6, so that's dinner time, and then you may have another hour of homework after that. That's 8, and now you're pushing to where they're tired. And like, what kind of family time do you have in that?
Right.
And I think for us, that's what's the important thing, is that we spend time together and we become a strong family. And here's a secret that I'm not going to tell a lot of people. I don't care if in the world's eyes that my kids, they're not the smartest kids, because my children are very bright. As long as my kids have good character, because that's what I see lacking sometimes. It's okay to cheat if you don't get caught. It's okay to lie about something if you don't get caught, because who does it hurt? Well, it hurts you because it hurts your character and people can't trust you. And that's one thing that we're teaching our children is that as long as you have good character, you love Jesus and you love the people around you. Like,
big family, you're awesome.
I don't care if you're not, in all AP classes, because we watch sometimes, what does that bring them? It brings them a lot of stress.
Here's the deal. I don't know if you guys are going to believe this or not, but I'm halfway through a master's degree. I have half of the credits I need, and I need to go back and finish it. But in that first half of the master's degree, we had an ethics class, and in that ethics class, it showed how some of the corporations that are hiring CEOs, hiring new administrative staff, are lowering the standard on the idea of bending the rules or cheating. And there's this whole book about it. I forget the name of it right now, but it's a Freestyle, so I don't have to remember. But I would just encourage us as we look at how we're going to raise our kids. we've got to consider them as a whole person, not as just an athlete. Not that there's anything wrong with sports, but we need to see them through the whole picture. I am more than happy to see them not get into a next level AP class, and for them to be honest in the way they treat people, have good character in how they respond to an adult, and not be a
poop face.
Thank you. I was trying to be a little bit more specific, but that kind of covers it.
Yeah.
I feel like as I've changed, and trust me, I've changed, because I was one of the ones that was the hardest to convince to go into this homeschooling thing. There are going to be several times as you go through homeschooling where you're just going to feel like giving up. And the truth of the matter is that's not what's going on. What's going on is you're detoxing. You're detoxing from the expectations of what's going on. There's a lot of stuff going on here.
Well, they're talking about, like, Mindy was talking. Well, we got a compliment because Big Family Homestead at the Batty
Who's
kids
Dan?
are solid.
Big Family Homestead said it's a credit to Mom and Dan being faithful to God.
They mean Dad, not Dan.
I'm just kidding. I knew that.
But Mindy was talking about, like, character is important because a lot of your successful people weren't top in their class.
Yep.
Like I said, I would rather them have good character.
Absolutely.
And to be honest and to be, hard workers, not
Absolutely.
expect that everything is going to be given to them, because it's not. If you don't work for it, it's not worth having.
That's right.
So
what do we do during the summer to make sure that their brains don't go into mush? Watch this. A buddy of mine lives in Indiana. His kindergarten son. We need a tea to table 5, please.
Hey, can I have a glass of water, please?
The service around here is awful. No, it's actually very
right
good.
Here, sweetie. Thank you, honey.
The friend of mine in Indiana, his kindergarten son started school July 25th. Think about that for a second. We're going to a year-round calendar in the school system. We're reading and we're not saying anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
You keep reading.
I'll keep talking. She'll do some reading. Did she ask for a glass of butter?
No, water. I'm sorry, I asked for water. Well, Melinda was saying, we see those people like, I'm so excited for my kids to go back to school. And like that, for me, when my kids went back to school, I'm like, who's Dad? Where'd they go? The house is so quiet.
It's one of those things where we actually like hanging out with our kids.
Yeah.
And it's something that I know when we talk with other homeschool families, they're an enjoyment. We enjoy being around them.
Yeah.
So, but how do we go and enjoy summer as a family, enjoy that loose schedule, but not let their brains go to much? Here's a couple of things that we've done in the Goin Batty channel to get that, to kind of keep that from happening. One is we've encouraged our kids to read relentlessly.
We go to the library a lot. Katie's probably read, I don't know, this summer she's probably, gosh, I don't know how many books that she's read.
Katie, come here when you get a chance.
With the boys, like, they don't read as much as she does because
they've read a lot.
They've read a lot, though.
They've read a lot more than I have this summer.
Well, so, like, what are you interested in? So Max
how many
has been
books have you
checking
read
out
this summer?
books on like drawing, like cartoon characters and stuff like that, and engineering things. He's been doing stuff like that.
Maybe around like 30 Nancy Drew books alone, and like a few Hardy Boyd books.
So she's read 30 Nancy Drew books alone.
And more because there was
she's read the Hardy Boy books. She's got a series that my mother is reading of like a mystery series or something that Mima has. And so she's read like a ton. And so, we have our kids doing that. So they're always learning during the summer.
Yep.
And, as I've been talking with other people who homeschool, like, because there is that, like, when you stop and then you start again, there is that kind of 2-week period of, don't you remember this from last year? You're catching up. So I was talking to a cousin of mine, and she's talking that, she goes, during the summer they do 2 subjects, twice a week, like
Right.
the important ones, like reading, math, science, and there was one other one. It may be history, but like some of those bigger ones, they'll do those. Like reading math on Monday and Tuesday, history and science reading and math on Tuesday, history and science on Thursday.
Yeah.
And so that way through the year you're not losing ground.
Absolutely.
And so that kind of makes sense.
Tuesday
and
and
the
Thursday,
nice thing about homeschooling is that when we want to go on vacation, we just go on vacation.
That's right.
You know?
And it's the middle of the year. It's the middle of the year.
Yeah.
Rural Homestead said the schools are not teaching the kids leadership. They teach following, and that is why we homeschool. And I'll be honest with you, that's one of Heather's big things. I mean, when we see the kids slipping into some of that following thing, and that goes back to the great BB debacle of 2017 in the Goin Batty clan. We really call them out on who's being a leader and who isn't. And are we raising you to be leaders? And I think there's a whole bunch of different philosophies. There are a ton of homeschooling families that have different philosophies behind what they're doing. But our mission is to grow. We're growing our kids to be leaders, and we're growing our kids to love the Lord. I mean, it's that simple. And everything else on top of that is we want them to be a productive citizen in the United States of America, but we want them to be a step above the rest because we know that America needs that. They don't need the normal school kid. They need something different. And so my hope is that those kids will enjoy that.
Well, we had a very dear friend that he used to say, like my dad always said, he goes, I set standards high for you guys.
Yep.
Because even if you come short, he goes, you're still doing good. And we had a friend, a friend Dave, who he used to say, if you aim for the gutter and you hit it, because you really haven't done anything.
You'll hit it every time. If you aim for the gutter, you'll hit it every time. Yep.
So,
Angie's Pantry, I hate to do this, but I have to correct you. It's Goin Batty. Goin Batty. It's minor. I'm that guy. I have to be that guy.
It may be autocorrect.
I know.
Because autocorrect does it to me all the time.
Angie, how are you? We're glad you're here. Everybody is glad you're here. Hey, Flatland Homestead and everybody else.
Oh my gosh, we got people just whoo.
Okay. There it goes. All right. So anyway, homeschooling for us we're prepping for it even now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tools that we use, and we can get into some of that tonight because it's a freestyle. Tonight is Friday Night Freestyle, which means you guys just ask us whatever you want, even if it's not about homeschool.
Yeah. If you're not sure what homeschool curriculum you're going to use yet, because there are a lot of them out there and they are really expensive. But for
there's
us,
businesses behind that.
We have 4 children and we were having to start from scratch. I didn't have stuff that was passed down to me or that I had an older kid that would pass down. So when we started, we used something called Easy Peasy All-in-One Homeschool. It is online. It is free. It is completely free. So if you are looking to get your way into it and then try to figure out what your curriculum is that you're going to use, because sometimes you have to like turn midstream and go, okay, this isn't working for us. And I've watched people chuck thousands of dollars of curriculum out the window because it didn't work.
That's right.
And so that is what we have used. I will tell you, there's a learning curve to it, and it's a little cumbersome when you first start to learn it. But once you get the hang of it, it's actually really good.
Yeah, so, it is. Don't go out and spend a lot of money on curriculum.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense. There's a couple of the Big Family Homestead just asked me if I wanted to buy a drone.
He would love to, but
I would love
to. We're packing stuff up now.
100% yes. I'll buy it tomorrow. No, I can't. I'm sorry. All right. Anyway, hi Phil. Welcome. You're not late. You're right on time. You got here right when you were supposed to be. We're so glad you're here. But yeah, this is a fun time for us to freestyle and take questions. It's very compact. That's hilarious. That's awesome. I will definitely hold it for you and keep it for you if you like. But no, I feel like homeschooling was one of those decisions that we made that every year that we go through it, we start figuring something new out.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you guys, I'll be perfectly honest with you. Heather's way better at homeschooling than I am.
Because we tried the split thing. Because there was a time that I was working part-time and he was working full-time, and on his days off, we were switching it to where our kids actually were doing school a little on Saturday, because I had to work certain days during the week, he had to work certain days during the week, and then he had Friday off, and then we would do some on Saturday too. And it just was not working. There was at one point I was looking at kids that had 3...
NT Mermaid, you have a great afternoon out there in New Zealand.
Yeah.
I'm in awe that you guys watch us. See you later. We'll talk to you soon. But hey, Angie's Pantry has a question that's a little bit off the beaten path. What are you canning up? And I'm doing green beans and garlic dill pickles.
Okay.
Well, let me tell you, she's doing dill pickles, and they are the bomb. Would you go get us a can?
Refrigerator.
Miles or somebody?
Dill pickles, because I struggle with. I have never found a recipe, and some people have given me suggestions, which I'm going to try, but I don't have enough cucumbers yet to do it.
Tim Beverly's in the house.
Is the refrigerator, like deli style dill pickles, and so I did those, and I want to can green beans, but I don't have enough of them yet. So we're probably going to do tomatoes, and mine are just starting, to come in. Stupid pizza.
That pizza's tearing you up.
It's tearing me up. So
is there an open one in there, Miles? Oh.
Okay. Well, anyway, bring here.
Find it.
So but these are my pickles that I did, and
cool.
You just do them. You put them in the jar, and you put the brine, and you put all your spices and stuff in, and then you just let them sit in the refrigerator, and they're good up to, I think, 2 months. They don't last that long in my house. The kids eat them.
That's right. Very good. We're even going to give you a sample of them.
Yeah. And they're crunchy. That's the thing, because we don't like squishy pickles.
Yeah.
Like, they're just, that's
mushy. It's
I don't like mushy.
Let's see here. Pickles look awesome.
That's how she did
What do
hers,
you do with your kids to teach them service and servantship? Well, that's the fun part. Anyone heard from Dolphin Man? I haven't heard from Dolphin Man.
No.
My kingdom for a jar of delicious pickles. Let me tell you.
Well, we're going to be going to their house tomorrow,
we'll have to bring
I might bring you a jar of pickles.
But I haven't heard from Dolphin Man. I'm really concerned about him. I want to hear about him. Let's go to Rural King real quick. Not Rural King. Rural Homesteader, not Rural King.
Rural King's the store.
What do you do with your kids to teach them service and leadership? Well, here's the thing. Me being a pastor, is that we have opportunity for them to serve every week. Katie's in charge of setting up stuff in the youth room. Max is in charge of setting up stuff in the youth room. We have worked in many capacities. There's always the special events like during the holidays where we pass out food. But ultimately what we do is we walk through ministry with them. They get to see the behind the scenes of what it means to be a pastor. And this will either encourage them or it'll keep them out of the ministry. I don't know which.
Yeah.
But what I've noticed is that the more that we walk through, he's a pasture.
Yes.
Yes. I'm a pasture, a grass pasture.
But they've also gotten chances to, like, where they went to the Henderson settlement and they helped a lady build a fence that she needed built.
That's good crunch right there, babe.
It is. The church that we go to, they have a ministry that reaches out to people who a lot of times are homeless, and they're helping them get job training and
Tuesday night deal.
Yeah, and their kids will come, and so Kevin will be doing some stuff with them, and so the kids get to be, because I think what happens, because it's funny because I would consider us very blue collar people.
Yeah.
That live in a white collar area.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we live in an area where the average household income is was it $90,000 a year?
Can I interrupt and show you guys something?
Yeah.
Like I said, it's freestyle.
Yeah.
Look at this right here. This was in the jar. All right. I want you to take a good look of it.
It looks like seaweed now.
It looks like seaweed. Fresh dill out of the garden.
Yeah, that was
out
out of my garden.
Awesome.
But so when we have opportunities, because our kids are around people that make a lot of money. I mean, Procter & Gamble is real big around here. I mean, a lot of these families work for Procter & Gamble, Cintas, a lot of these big companies. And to see that there's a kid who, him and his dad and his sister have been living in their car, and they're coming so that their dad can get job training so that he can
take these out,
get a better job to support their family. You know, to know that they're, because I think a lot of times when we live in areas like this, we're very shielded from what actually is happening, because poverty is not just in a third world country. There's a lot of poverty here, and we hide it very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's so true. Yeah. I mean, there is we're a totally different pay rate, you know.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it that way, and I'm not trying to demean us or get a pity party or anything. Yeah. That's just we are
the actually very happy.
Oh yeah.
Because
I had that conversation with someone recently.
Yeah. But we don't need to be raking in millions of dollars, because that's just not who we are. And we're quite content with what God has given us, because it's what He's given us.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And I think the lessons that we've learned from chasing the Joneses has tempered that. You know, we've done that. We've chased the Joneses, and we've gotten stung, and we've messed up, and all of that stuff has made us rethink what it means to be happy. Now, my personality lends itself to a different kind of person, and I'm weird. I get it. I'm unique, and our family is fun and unique, and we're off center. We're not necessarily I'm not a normal pastor. Okay, I get that, but I think there's some endearing qualities to that help my kids see what it means to serve. I think there's some qualities in what we're doing as in our class. Was that Jim Jones? No, Tim Beverly, behave yourself. How funny. I'm just, I feel like there's a time and a place where we content and little much. Sounds like Paul is a pretty good example. Yes, he is. That's very good. It's a shame that keeping your kids protected from the snares and traps of the world is considered social neglect to those in the world. Well, that's interesting, because social neglect is almost an oxymoron to a degree, because if you're trying to keep up with people socially, I'm not sure that's always the healthiest thing in the world.
Well, it's like monkeys live in social groups.
Well, yeah.
Like, my kids aren't monkeys. Monkeys are tree-swinging poop flingers. And that's just not what my children are. So.
If I were a monkey, I'd be offended.
Well, that's what they do. And they eat bugs off of each other. And, my kids have eaten weird things, but bugs off of each other is not one of them. So, but I just, I think it's interesting, because there is a difference between, like, people are talking about what makes me happy. And the thing is that sometimes...
Thanks for joining us, Angie's Pantry. We are going to say a little bit about Thrive Life. Thanks for bringing that up. Thrive Life is booming, and there's some exciting things happening that we'll talk about in a little bit.
But what I was saying is that, we talk about, what makes us happy and this and that. And the thing is I think as a believer, there's a difference between happiness and joy. Happiness is temporary. It comes and goes. But that joy comes with, knowing Jesus. And it's that underlying current that you can still have joy when someone you love passes away. You can still have joy when, you lose the house or the job or whatever. Your happiness may not be there, but the joy is always there. So, that's something that I think that for us, we have to remember constantly, like, even with the ups and downs, and that God's joy is always with us.
Yep.
God's joy. That makes me think of Dolphin Man. He always puts that
God's
there.
Joy.
So God's joy.
I don't know if anybody's connected to Dolphin Man, but we'd love it. Hi, Donna Terry. I'd love to get an update on him. And so I just wanted to let that be out there.
Thank you, Grandma Patty. She
sent you a message
about because I talked about I crocheted rag rugs, and she was talking about hook rugs, and I wasn't sure what they are, so she sent me a message about that.
Aww,
Yay!
That's nice.
I'll read that later.
That's awesome.
So,
Well, there's a lot going on in our hearts with this homeschooling thing, and we could talk about it quite a bit tonight, and we already have. But getting the biggest part for us is looking towards the future, looking towards what we're going to do to homeschool our kids.
Max.
Looking for what we're going to do to encourage them, get them graduated and moved up into a place where they know how to choose joy, where they know how to be a servant leader. Those are all things that we always have to be forward thinking on. And so it just looks kind of
blurry.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Oh, there, it's fixed now.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. We're coming in a little blurry, I feel like. Sorry about that. But we've got a couple of, couple of things that I wanted to bring up. One was Heather has some hidden talents that she doesn't always show you. And homeschooling is definitely one of those talents, okay? I feel like it's something she does well, and she's learning how to do well every year, and she's keeping up with it, and she's doing a great job. The other thing that she does that is a hidden talent is, you guys know that she's a machinist. This lady can forge a tool, but she can also build a beautiful flower bouquet. She is a florist by trade, or was a florist by trade, and she is having a great kind of comeback, and she's going to be doing some of that. Tell us a little bit about your history in Flatlander. I agree with that statement. I think we do have to be mindful of the social needs of kids. Yeah. I don't disagree with that at all, and it is something that we have felt is important. That's why we are building a youth ministry where they can have that. Yeah. And so I think that's where a strong youth ministry comes into play. A strong, forget youth ministry, just a strong church community to come around them and help them become social. And know how to be a part of a community. Hi, De Jesus Family Farms. How are you?
Amy asked me, well, she says, I need to do a crochet video. I'm having a heck of a time teaching myself. Now, I will ask you, Amy, are you right-handed or left-handed? Because I'm left-handed, and I had to teach myself. I had my lovely grandmother, when I was about, I don't know, 18, 19 years old, who has the patience of Job, tried to teach me how to crochet, and tried and tried and tried and tried and tried. And then finally looked at me and said, honey, you might need to learn another hobby. So I'm left-handed, and I had to teach myself. Now, I will tell you, there is and I mentioned this, I think, in our live feed Wednesday. There is a YouTube channel, and this woman is really great, and her camera angles are great in showing you how to crochet, and it is Fiberflex, and she has some really great videos. So my only thing is that because I'm left-handed, it's gonna look weird to a right-handed person how I do it, because I don't necessarily hold the hook correctly like you're supposed to. Those are, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to doing a crocheting video, but I'm actually relatively new at it. So
Anita, thanks for joining us. Good night.
I don't know all of the fancy crochets.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, that might be something I might be interested in. There was another question there.
Phil's left-handed too.
I know that. He told me that at the meetup. Yeah.
There's a question from Forging Freedom. How did kids get socialization before public school was a thing? That's a great question.
I think a lot of it actually was done through, there were a lot more community activities. Oh, yeah. There was a lot more people in church, and there was a lot more, like when you went to town, it was a social thing. You made plans, you got together, you did things. Yep. So I think that's where, that kind of comes in. But there was another one.
Well, the dynamic of our...
somebody asked me what I was crocheting.
Oh,
I'm actually crocheting another bag. This one's bigger than the one that I showed on Wednesday. This is more like a diaper bag size. And it's these colors here where it's like a light green and blue and purple and white. But this is the second panel of it. I've got 4 more panels to go. 3 more panels, something like that.
She's a crochet maniac.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about the flower project, the florist project that you're going to be putting together.
I was thinking about, and actually my inspiration actually came from He Provides Homestead, because on the channel there, she is very crafty, and she does these little craft things. And as a florist, I used to do a lot of just, I've done everything from little tiny table arrangements in a baby booty, to giant arches that, were at weddings, and everything in between. I mean, I've done some weird arrangements, and I've done, I won a first place in a design contest one time. And
right.
So I'm looking at, as we're getting ready to move into our house, like I'm finally like having that desire to want to decorate my own house. So I was thinking about doing a video on how to do like a wreath that you hang on your door. Like I would do Christmas ones and all, I've done all different kinds, but like when I wanted one that would have like, the B for our Goin Batty family, you've seen those where they have like the initial and then the wreath and everything. And I thought about doing something like that and kind of taking you guys along and showing you how to do your own. And I didn't know if that was something that anyone would be interested in, but I just thought that might be interesting. I did one video on how to make a corsage and a boutonniere, because sometimes it's less expensive to do that than having to, like, especially if you're just doing a small wedding or something like that. Now if you're doing something where you have like more than 4 people in your wedding party, yes, I would probably suggest that if you don't have the know-how, maybe talk to a florist and have them help you with that. But if you're doing something smaller, knowing those little ins and outs and, where to buy the stuff and how to, you could even, like with the boutonnieres and corsages that I did, I mean, I got the, you can get the flowers at like a grocery store, just to know what to look for when you're looking at your flowers, know what you're looking for to know if it's good quality.
Absolutely.
And that was one thing, like when I was a florist, if it wasn't good quality, especially with wedding flowers, if I saw anything that was bad, I would immediately send it back to the wholesaler and say, I can't use this.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
DeJesus Family Farms, that is awesome. That is a huge praise. We're excited for you. I have a praise report, got a raise, and get to work from home. Employer provided me full state. If the Art PC huge copier,
that's great. We're excited for you.
And an assistant in the corporate office.
Well, because
no more 140 a day round trip commute.
Yeah, she's having like a really, really long commute, and that's awesome. That is so great for you. I'm excited.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a lag in the thing, so we weren't ignoring you. We're just getting to the comment. That is exciting. And man, we've been praying for you and Jose, and just overjoyed to hear that news.
So that was my idea. Like
maybe
doing a few videos on some decorating stuff, some floral design stuff, and I didn't know if anybody would even be interested in that, but that was just my thought. Because now I'm getting ready to move into our own home, now I'm a little more excited about it, because that'd just be fun. I thought.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll bring a little bit of it'll bring country back into it. The city. Yeah. Heather, you are talking, but your lips are not moving. Kevin is not talking, but his lips are moving. Well, that might be a delay in the buffering of your computer. So if anybody else is having that same problem, I say click refresh. That's my answer to everything. Click refresh and maybe it'll help. Do we have a move date? Kathy, we are looking at the first week of September as our move date.
We're moving on my birthday.
That's Heather's birthday week.
Yep.
And we're going to be it's going to be tight because I'm not taking a whole lot of time off of work. We're going to be doing it over a weekend, and it'll be one of those things where we got to kind of clean before we move in.
There it goes. Lips are okay.
Oh, okay, good. So I just think it's going to be kind of a process where we're going to move everything out of our storage bin into the house first, and then we've got everything here that we need to move out and get planted into the new house. So Mindy says she'd love to see your ideas about what you're going to be doing with flowers. So that's a thumbs up on all of that stuff.
I'll put a couple of ideas together and we'll see where it goes. It means I get to go to Hobby Lobby. I love Hobby Lobby. So it's one of my favorite places.
That is one of her favorite places to go.
I hear angels sing when I walk in the door. It's like, oh, and light shines on it. And it just, yes, it's lovely. I love Hobby Lobby. So...
all of the testosterone that comes out of... No, I don't hate it. There are some cool stuff.
I have to drag him kicking and screaming like a 6-year-old into the store. No, I don't.
I don't go kicking and screaming. I just go kicking.
And
no. There's some interesting things at Hobby Lobby, and I'm so excited for some of the things that Heather's streaming up. And I know that...
Me too, Heather.
That's funny. All right. Good deal. All right. Good deal. So, the homeschool thing, the flower thing, we've talked about a lot tonight. Do you guys have any other questions before we go on to another topic about anything Goin Batty that you might want to ask? Because there's a lot. She is multi-talented. I'm going to call it a night for tonight, you guys. Love you. Bye, too, Claire. Keep it real.
See you tomorrow.
Keep living for the Lord. That's a big deal. Gonna try to do a live on my channel tonight if I can get the blasted internet to work. Well, I'll tell you, it's not always easy. I find at night, though, it's easy. Good night, Virginia. I think sometimes it's better at night because there's less people on it. It seems to be less traffic on the internet. But I did want to mention a couple things to you guys before we got off here. As you guys know, we are Thrive Life fans. I'm a Thrive Life consultant. My wife is a Thrive Life consultant, and
I didn't know that. Yeah. I'm the cooker of the Thrive Life.
She is our Chef Todd. No, not that you would know who that is. Sorry. But I just wanted to bring that up to you guys again because we are looking to continue to expand our business and wanted to humbly bring it to you that Thrive Life is real, awesome, freeze-dried food, and we'd love for you guys to give it a try if you're interested.
I have a story to tell you.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, so we had our little niece here. She was spending the week here, and I brought out the blueberries. And she can be a little finicky in what she eats sometimes, but she was so funny because she's like, these are like blueberry Cocoa Puffs. So she ate them. She really liked them.
Yep.
So we actually sat there with the can, and she was just kind of that giant can and this little tiny 5-year-old.
That's right.
Yeah. So she liked those.
It's a healthy snack because they're real blueberries.
Yeah.
And they have you heard anything about the new Thrive? We've only heard bits and pieces from Brad and from Bill. They're going to put out some, obviously they'll put out some announcements, but there is some exciting stuff going on.
They were talking about they're doing something like, what was it, Blue Apron?
Well, we don't know the whole story, so we don't want to give that information out and it'd be wrong. So,
but there may be something like
sounds
that
like
coming out.
There's some, sometimes the queue can be confusing.
Seem like they've streamlined
and
it a
so
little bit
it's
more.
That confusion seems to be going away.
Yeah.
And so we're kind of excited about what's going on. I think Katie got another apron done.
She did. It looks cute.
Wow,
Yep.
It looks really cute.
Yeah.
If you would like to see that apron, you can't tonight because we're going to save it as a reveal for our Wednesday night show.
Yeah, that one's cute.
Yeah, that is very cool. She is a master seamstress and does a great job at sewing.
Yeah.
And so, anyway.
Forging Freedom had to go. So.
Okay, see you later, Forging Freedom. Thanks for stopping by.
If you go live tonight, we'll check you out.
Absolutely, we will.
Yeah.
So Tiny House has a new video on some things. There are some things coming up, but we just wanted to... maybe there's some things you guys didn't know. We found some new products that we've enjoyed, and they've really kind of exploded for us, and we wanted to share them with our Facebook friends, our YouTube friends. This is the eggs right there. That is not powdered eggs. It is It doesn't taste gritty.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste
they're not watery
mealy.
Yeah.
They're not overwatered. They're good scrambled eggs. And here's the thing. We're chicken people. We know what good eggs are.
Yeah.
And we would not eat it if it wasn't good. And so...
I made breakfast casserole out of it, and it was really good.
Premium Mom to Twin says, I've made a dozen Thrive Life meals in a jar today.
Awesome.
That is awesome. Very cool. Yeah. The other thing that is new to me is they have butter. There you go. It is Thrive Life butter.
That I haven't tried yet, but I want to because they have a chocolate chip cookie recipe that goes with that. I'm like, that'll be interesting.
And there's just some things that dried kale or dried greens, that is a great idea. They have dried spinach with Thrive Life.
Spinach, so.
They don't have. I don't think they have dried kale yet, but that would be interesting to see them do that.
This is the one that surprised me. The one that I use a lot is the sour cream, because sometimes we'll buy sour cream and you'll open it and you'll use it for a recipe and then forget that you have it.
Absolutely.
And then it becomes your children's science experiment, or you're growing your own penicillin or something. But I use that when we make what did I make? Oh shoot, what was it? The beef enchiladas. Mm-hmm. And so I only had to use, I didn't have to use a whole container of it and then forget, or use half of a container and then forget it was in the refrigerator. So I kind of like that. That's kind of nice. And the other one that I didn't think I would like is kind of nice is the milk, because we ran out of milk one day and I was in the middle of baking something. And I was like, no, I was making biscuits. Is when I did my biscuit and gravy recipe. And I'm like, daggone it, I'm out of milk.
Yep.
And Kevin was like, well, just use that.
Use
and I
the
was
Thrive
like,
Life
okay.
stuff.
And I did, and I even used it where, you know how you kind of fake buttermilk, where you'll put lemon juice in your milk, and it worked just the same as if I had like whole milk.
All right, so you made the milk, just like it says in the can. And then you turned around and you turned it into buttermilk?
Yeah, you either put lemon juice or vinegar in it.
Listen,
and it replicates buttermilk. It's a substitute for buttermilk.
It's not Frankenfood. It's actual food that you can use. It's for people that need to go quick. It's for folks that want a good recipe, want good food, but they don't have hours to spend prepping all the food. It saves you time. You don't have to stand in the line at the grocery store. You don't have to fight the crowds.
Donna, are you asking? Oh, sour cream. Yes, I've actually made, and I didn't do a recipe. I didn't do a video on it because it was one of those. We tried
it first
Wednesday nights where we had to do something quickly. I made beef stroganoff, and it turned out really well.
Yep.
So yeah. Somebody had a question. Was it Pamela Lopez? Where said they deleted 3 of my teams.
If it is restocked, do the put back on my list on the 1st. I think they deleted something off of her list, but I'm not sure what that means. Okay. So items. Okay, they deleted 3 of my items. If it is restocked, sometimes we just have to go to.
Oh, I didn't know that, Rural Homesteader, that Thrive has drinking milk and cooking milk. I can't remember.
I didn't know
that we had, but whatever I used, it worked just fine.
Yeah, so. I think we just have the drinking milk.
Yeah.
And it's been working pretty well for us. We've been very happy with it. It sounds like there are some experienced Thrive Life folks out there, and we don't mean to talk down to you. So if there's things that we're saying that you already know, we apologize. But we thought maybe there might be some other folks that haven't seen this. That would be interested in learning more about it.
See you later, Flatland Homestead.
Flatland Homestead, see you later. You make the milk for the recipes. Can you make up extra and put it in the refrigerator? Yes, actually, they recommend that.
Yeah.
Cindy McIntyre says, I found out that I was cooking chunk potatoes wrong. Thanks, Heather. Now I know. Okay. Grandma Patty, I get my queue late in the month. Sometimes they run out of products and substitutes are made. Yep. Okay. So that's all true. I think that for what we're experiencing right now, we're growing the Thrive Life section of Goin Batty. It is booming, and we've had some really great responses to people that want to try the food, and we're getting emails back from folks saying this stuff's real, this is the real deal. So remind me, when did they start putting green beans in a can, sealing it, and setting it up on a shelf to be sold?
I don't know. It's been
the 1970s,
no,
the 1960s,
way before that.
The 50s.
Before that.
All right, so at some point,
you're looking at the turn of the century, maybe even before.
At some point, somebody looked at canning and said, "This is a good idea. This is going to save us. This is going to revolutionize how people eat food," and it sure has. I can go to Kroger, Meijer, Walmart, any of these places. I can go there. I can buy a can of food, and I can heat it up in their little the gross little juice that they have in there, and I can eat that. Or I can use it in a thing. Well, here's the next level. This is what I believe is the next level. Thrive Life is doing something better. And that is they're taking vegetables and they're freeze drying them. They're freeze drying them without extra salt, without extra sugar, without extra juice. And they're sealing it in a can. Just like that. Okay.
Yeah, Grandma Patty's right. So
1800s.
The 1800s
okay.
They started doing that. So,
if they substitute something that you don't like, you can send it right back to them, and that's no joke. They'll take it right back. I would call the company first, let them know what happened. There's an 800 number on the website. Call it. Don't be shy. It's like anything else. If you guys feel like they send it to you in error, you deal directly with Thrive and have them fix it. Yeah. If you don't get anywhere, call me and we'll figure something out, or email me.
Don and Terry, I'm going to actually be making a recipe tomorrow with the chicken chunks.
Chicken chunks.
So I'm going to be doing a penne pasta type thing. So yeah.
Want to be troubled about returns? No, I think what you've got is you've got a brand new company who has a fresh idea that they have come across, and it is booming. And so they're going to bend over backwards to make sure their customer service is good. And I know there's others that have had experiences with their customer service department. I think calling them is probably better, but I've used their live chat, and I've gotten somewhere with it. And I know that other folks that are on the chat right now have had experiences with Thrive that have been where there's been a mistake or there's been confusion. You've called them and it's solved some of your problems. And so I would encourage you guys to always go to the horse's mouth. But from our vantage point, from our end, we're seeing our business grow, and we want to invite others to come and join it and be a part of it. There's something that you can do. You can just come and buy the food, enjoy the food. It's great food. It's amazing. You've seen Heather cook it on the Goin Batty kitchen. A lot of what is? Did you see that?
That was that.
What was that?
There's a little blonde kid back there.
A little blonde kid coming behind us.
I think that's our little blonde kid. If you can believe it, with both of us as dark hairs, we have 3 blondes.
Yeah, what are you gonna do, right? Anyway, I've been asked a couple of times, Kevin, you're a pastor, how can we support you? Well, I'll be honest with you, we're not going to get on here and ask for money for nothing. That's not our routine. What we're going to do is we're going to present to you a business that we're building and ask if you want to participate, and if you don't, no harm, no foul. It is a possible way for you to enjoy fantastic food.
Okay, hold on.
Yes.
Donna Terry's asking about the tomato powder. We really like the tomato powder.
Love the
it's
tomato
not
powder.
like I've never ever used tomato powder before. I've only ever used tomato paste, tomato sauce, and we really like it. It's not nasty tasting. We use it for, like, the other day, what did I make? Oh, when I did my steak sandwiches, I used it in this. It was half. Stupid pizza. Don't burp it up. It was half the Thrive's tomato powder, and then I put a can of crushed tomatoes in it because I just didn't have quite enough to make the pizza sauce to go on top of the subs.
She gave you a thumbs up on that.
So
Terry said thumbs up on that.
Yeah.
And so this is an opportunity for us to come out on YouTube and to say, we would be honored if you guys would enjoy some Thrive Life food and come and be a part of this business and take a look and buy the food. You can become a consultant as well and start your own business. And we've had several people that have chosen to do that.
Somebody asked me a question. Isabel, I do not know how to knit. I just know how to crochet.
She knows how to crochet.
I just know how to crochet. I don't know how to knit. My mother-in-law is an excellent knitter. So she knits up a storm.
Heather has tried peppermint oil, and the whole family uses it for headaches. It's awesome.
Yeah, I think she's talking about for me burping stuff up. Now, I've never used it for that. I didn't know you could use it for that.
Oh, there you go. So, I thought it was for headaches. Heather, have you ever made chili with the tomato powder? I'm afraid order it in case, and I don't, and won't like it.
Okay, I have not yet, but I can if you want me to. I'll put that on our thing, and I'll make it, and I'll let you know how it turns out.
Absolutely. Here's the thing. It's tomatoes, and so when you use it, you can use it in the way that you'd use tomato paste or tomato sauce. It can do a lot of. It's a versatile product. Okay, that's two who like tomato powder. I guess I'm going to have to try it. Sorry, guys, I have to go tuck the kids in. God bless. Yes, that is that's important. Go have fun.
Time too.
Can't a sold item be placed on back order status? Then I get what I want, even if I have to wait. J-Jo, I'm not going to answer that question because I don't know the answer to that question.
We can find out the answer to it.
We can find out the answer to it. Yeah. And if you want to email me...
Drop a peppermint oil in a teaspoon of water.
If you would like to email me at info.goinbatty@gmail.com, we'll talk more about that offline because I don't want to give you misinformation. I'd rather do a little research and find out for myself. So a teaspoon of water... in a teaspoon of water. A drop of peppermint oil in a teaspoon of water.
Okay.
Let's try that. She'll be right back. And I'm going to talk about Thrive Life food and answer some of your questions that you have about Thrive Life. So when you become a consultant, you have the choice of becoming a consultant in a lot of different levels, like 3 different levels. And it gives you the opportunity to start sharing Thrive Life with your sphere of influence and begin building a business of your own. And this is the thing. We're looking at Thrive Life as an income stream for our family. And so when we talk about Thrive Life, we're talking about building a business that'll continue to grow as I focus on ministry, as I focus on other things. So, Tiny Preppers just toured the Thrive Life company. Yes, Thrive Life is having a conference right now, and there's a bunch of people from Thrive Life there. We were not able to go because of work and all the things, but I hear it's very good. So anyway, let me read a couple things on our live stream. I would love for them to have 1 serving sample sizes for purchase. Perfect to try the product and for travelers. Absolutely. And they have these individual meal bags, which are amazing. I call them meal bags, but that's not what it is. But they're like, they are a little bigger than this right here, a little bigger than the snack bags. And inside are things like lime chili, I'm not saying it right.
My peppermint oil has grown legs and walked away.
Oh, that's a shame. Anyway, they do have individual bags, and they're coming out with some new stuff after the conference where you'll be able to go and try something. Now, for those of you who want to try Thrive Life and you don't know what to get, start small. Start with a pantry size of blueberries or strawberries or bananas or something that you know you like. That way you're not just taking my word for it or Heather's word for it. You can experience the food for yourself. My heart would be to just send out free stuff to everybody, but we can't do that. We can't afford to do that. But we do want express meals. Thank you, Mindy. I could not think of the word.
Meals.
Express meals. I was having tongue-tied. The chili
chicken lime rice one.
Wasn't it chili lime rice or something like that?
Chili lime rice, that was really good.
And then they have chili, and they have a couple of other things that are just off the hook.
Yeah.
And so there's opportunity. There's an idea for you to try it if you want to try Thrive Life food. But I would encourage you guys to consider if you're looking for a
okay, pantry size versus family size. This is a pantry size can. here.
That's a small one.
Yeah, and then this is the family size can.
I'm a little can. I'm a big can.
So there's, if you look here, tilt it so they can see kind of the circumference of it.
Circumference.
So that's the difference between them.
Yeah, and there's some awesome stuff. I mean, you can get snack packs too. They have this size, and you can get snackies. They have corn. They have these packs in strawberries, blueberries. They have this awesome fruit carrot snacky. It's amazing.
And even a beet one, and he hates beets.
And it was very good. He loved it. It was very good. They have these little cheddar bites too. All of them are very good. Hi, Bandana Grandma. Hi, that's no problem. Stick around as long as you need to. Yeah. The peas are awesome. The vegetable soup is amazing. So these are all things that I think are just amazing. And if you are interested in starting a business of your own, an extra income stream, Thrive Life is the way to go. We've had a great experience with that. Within the first month of us being in Thrive Life, the commission check that we made off of being a part of that paid and then did more for what we invested in it. And so I feel like what we're doing with it and what we're earning from it is well worth the effort. And with all the different people that are on YouTube and in the homestead community right now that are experiencing Thrive Life, I don't feel like the market is saturated. I don't feel like we've stopped, that we'll have any issue growing it. Really, where the growth is happening and where it's going to continue to happen is with the people around us. There's a couple of things in Cincinnati that we're going to get going, and I'm very excited about those, and I'll tell you those as they get going. But networking out to the people that are around you and having them try the food is important. Getting the food in front of people is important. It's very tough on a YouTube video to say, hey, smell these onions. They smell just like onions because they're onions. Having the food right in front of somebody is key to the experience. Now, with that said, we're going to continue on with using videos to share Thrive Life, because I think if you can see it and you can see how easy it applies to your life, if you are a busy mom, if you are a single parent, if you are someone that doesn't like to cook, someone that doesn't like to prepare all that food, it's interesting because that's not how we work. Heather loves to cook, but if I were by myself and Heather was gone, I would probably dive into the Thrive Life because it's easier for me to cook.
And our children would be happy because there would be no daddy surprise.
That's right. We would make daddy surprise out of the Thrive Life food. No,
you wouldn't do that, because then our children would not be happy, because you never know what daddy surprise is. It's usually
it's random. And it's what?
Eat first, ask questions later.
Let me tell you, there are opportunities. Let me see. I'm sick with how much food I toss because it went bad. Freeze dried sounds ideal, and it is.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the onions that we have back here, the chopped onions, the sliced onions, all of this stuff is going to be good for a year.
And I agree with you. I get so frustrated. Like I said, like with the sour cream, where I would forget that that other half of the container has gotten shoved back in the refrigerator and it grows fur. Yep. Or the milk goes bad, because we're not milk drinkers in this house. None of us really ever have been. And we use it like on cereal, and we use it in cooking, but there'll be times like I'll buy a gallon of milk and then it's got chunks in it, and we're like, ew, stuff like that. Or like vegetables. Like I was so mad one time because I had bought a big bag of onions, and I opened it up, and I cut like 4 of them, and they were completely rotten in the middle. Yep. And so I took them back to the store, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like every one of these have been bad so far. So not having to deal with that has been kind of nice. That is pretty cool. And I feel like I'm less wasteful in the things that I'm cooking, because I don't I'm only using, like, I'm not using, well, not that I ever really use a half an onion, but sometimes I'll use an onion and a half. And so those are the sliced onions.
Yeah, and guess what they smell like?
They smell like onions.
Awesome. You know what it's
the onion without the they remind me of those French fried onions without the coating.
They're Funyuns without the coating.
Yeah. So.
Well, that was good.
Yeah. So
there's a lot of goodies there.
I mean, I've used the onions, the celery, and the carrots to make my chicken stock, because those are things like celery goes bad. Carrots don't go bad as quickly, but I never buy the already pre-peeled little tiny carrots, because those will get squishy and gross. Ugh.
Yep.
I always, like, if I buy carrots, I'll buy the whole ones that are unpeeled. But the Thrive ones have made it easy, because I just throw a handful of them in my crock pot with my chicken bones, and then I've got, chicken stock. But that was surprising. That worked out really well for me, because that was, when Kevin told me that we were going to be doing this, I'm like, what?
Yep.
Like, I was kind of skeptical, but he's kind of won me over, so yay.
So I just put a link up there. I don't know if it's going to come out right, but it's goinbatty.thrivelife.com. If you're interested in becoming a consultant, if you're interested in buying the food, visit our website. Check it out. Look at all the different things it has. There are a ton of great things on there. DeJesus, you asked how you can connect with me as my consultant. Go there, check out our website. It has all of the information that you need. You just click on the button that you're interested in, and so that's the best way to get connected. Can you use this celery in tuna or chicken salad just like fresh?
Yes,
absolutely.
You have to rehydrate it, but yes.
Yes.
And it needs like 10-15 minutes to rehydrate. And I actually made chicken salad with one time.
Absolutely.
So,
and the fun part about Heather's chicken salad is that there's a chicken salad recipe that Thrive Life gives out. It has chicken chunks, celery, and onions. Did I miss anything?
Nope.
All right. Well, my beautiful bride takes it a step further and makes homemade mayonnaise with it.
Yep.
She turns around and she puts every vegetable in the garden you could imagine.
It's usually cleaning out the refrigerator.
It's broccoli. It's
I don't
radishes.
want things to go bad.
We're adding everything to it, and so when you have Thrive Life food, you don't have to just use Thrive Life food exclusively in a recipe. You can take Thrive Life and combine it with what you have in the refrigerator already, and it's still good. Yeah. And I think when people understand that, they kind of open up to a brand new world of what Thrive Life can be. And so as a consultant, it's exciting for me to see other people figure out that the important part is to show people that it's not weird food. It's the next level of where food storage is going to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's read some stuff.
What we got here?
They also put some kind of nasty preservative on the baby carrots.
Yeah.
Forging Freedom, I thought you left. I'm so glad you're back.
Yes.
Husband almost went into an anaphylactic shock from whatever they put on there.
Ooh. That's bad.
And these are baby carrots that you bought at the grocery
store. Those
and
little.
Here's the thing. The carrots are dehydrated, not freeze dried. Because when you freeze dry a carrot, it turns white.
And nobody wants to eat white carrots because they don't look like carrots.
And so they dehydrate it instead.
That's the one thing I think that they do that's dehydrated. Yeah. So it takes a little longer. But then again, I've only ever used the carrots in making soup. So if you're using chopped carrots in making soup, they have to cook in there for like an hour or so anyway. Yeah. If you want good soup. Yeah. But so yeah, that was what it was interesting, because last night we had chicken gnocchi soup, and my daughter's already going, well, we can use this and this and that, and we can use the Thrive potatoes into making our gnocchis, and so she's already she's already got plans.
JoJo, be totally encouraged. There is no corn syrup in these foods.
Nope.
I'm looking at the butter thing because that's the closest thing.
Like usually they put sweeteners in fruits. So if you get dried blueberries at the store, they have some sort of sugar added to them. These here, if you look right there, Can you see that?
It says blueberries.
It says blueberries.
It doesn't say high fructose corn syrup blueberries.
It just says blueberries.
It's just blueberries. This is fresh fruit. They've just sucked the water out of it in a unique freeze drying process.
With the apples, it has apples and citric acid to keep them from turning brown.
Yep.
The strawberries are, I believe, just strawberries. I can't reach them, but
that's insane sanity. I know. Can you imagine making a great pot if we're all on the edge of our seat, Isabel? You got to finish that sentence. Can you imagine making a great pot if maybe we should fill it in?
I don't know. It's like, was it Mad Libs?
Mad Libs, yes, I love that. There's 1,000 applications to using this food, and it's wonderful. Here's the thing: if you have a gluten allergy, can they use it?
Yes, because they have gluten-free stuff.
Does it have any GMOs in it?
No, it does not.
Okay, so what?
And the other thing too is it specifically will say on there, like, if it's been packaged in like right here, it's got certified gluten-free on it right there. They'll tell you that this has been like right here, it's labeled, this one has been processed in a facility that handles milk, eggs, soy, wheat, and coconut products. But they have other ones that will say they have not been processed in those places.
Right.
So everything is
you've got green beans. Mm-hmm. The ingredients right there.
It's green beans.
I know you can't see it very well, and I'm sorry, our camera's not zooming in.
The can is round too.
It's round, yeah.
But it
says green beans. So where'd you put my tomatoes?
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Let's keep reading.
A vegetable soup.
In a snowstorm this winter, if you don't have to go to the store. That's right.
Yeah.
Two Family Homestead is here. Question, please. Do you know if the food Thrive Life starts with organic, grown, or pesticide, etc.? That is a great question.
And they have a section on their website where it talks about organic.
I'm going to go over.
They'll have like an organic section on their website of food that is organic. It does not say on these cans, so if it doesn't say, then let me look here on this
certified gluten-free.
Yeah, there's a certified gluten-free, but beside it doesn't have.
No, yeah, it's
there are some that are organic and some that are not. Yeah, I believe so.
Well, the non-GMO should say a lot, right?
That says 100%. 100% veg, you get source of vitamin C, Nutri-Lock. Yeah. So, but they do have on their website a section that is organic stuff.
Yeah, yeah, and we're excited to. Hey, Brad Talby's here.
Hi, Brad.
That's awesome. They do micro tests for pesticides. That's exciting to know. I recently found out that I'm allergic to penicillin, so I'm glad that my food will no longer have penicillin on it when it's in my refrigerator.
Yes.
That's funny. That's very good. So Two Family Homestead, we will find out that information and try to send you a link about whether it's organic. I believe that it is. I think that's one of the things. Refresh my memory. What's GMO stand for? I'm blanking.
Genetically modified organism. That means that they've split it with.
Right. Pesticides. I don't know the exact answer to that. I will say that there is some things about this that we have to go back to the website and find out about. And I'm sorry that we don't have that answer.
I know
right
that
out
they
there
do
for
have on the website. They have a section that is they have the Thrive food and then there's organic food too. So they do have that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there's an opportunity for us as Thrive Life consultants to grow our team. And what that looks like is for us to gather some great consultants around us and us to grow our businesses together. Mm-hmm. We have 2 folks that are on our team already, and we'd like to grow it more. So if you are interested in being a part of the Goin Batty Thrive Life team and become a consultant for Thrive Life, we would love to have you be a part of it. We'd love to invite you into that. There's a couple of ways that you can do that, and we can talk about that if you want to email us. Brad, is there something new going on in your life? Because I thought I saw on your Facebook page that it's a girl, and I didn't know if that was your wife, if you guys, or if it's a boy, or what, if something's going on with your family. So if we're praying for you guys, I've been praying for you. You're an awesome dude. I've been following you on Facebook.
She has like the best beard ever.
Yes, it's magniflorious.
Yes, it's large and red.
I'm on your site but cannot see where the cost is for each level. Well, let's go to the Thrive Life page while we're here. And what you can do is you can go to let's see, shop Thrive.
He said no, that was a joke. We had a baby heifer calf.
Okay, that's so funny.
Congratulations on your heifers.
That's awesome. So if you want to click on Thrive Life, why Thrive, and down at the bottom there is a, nope, that's not it. Kevin, what are you doing, man? Alrighty, click up there where it says the Goin Batty. If you click up in the right corner, there's a thing that says your consultant is Goin Batty. That way you know you're in the right place. Learn more about Kevin. Right underneath it is either host a party or join my team. And if you click on that, they will walk you through some of the details of that. So I'm going to click on it just so I can give you some of the stuff. There's a join my team page, and if you scroll down, they'll show you some of the hey, here's how it works, and see our career plan, bring home the bacon. There's a bunch of questions at the bottom, and then there's at the very bottom, who wants Thrive Life, join now, and you can click that join now button, and they'll take you right into the selected customer piece. So it starts all up at the top with the Goin Batty is your consultant, and you can just click your way all the way through that.
Can you need something to drink, sweetheart? I'm sorry, my throat is really dry.
We know you guys have been with us a long time, and so we're grateful. I want to read a little bit more of the comments. Awesome, Brad. That is cool. We can talk about some of this Monday evening as well if you want to. Hey, we are going to be on live with Two Family Homestead Monday evening. You don't want to miss it, 9 o'clock. Hey, can I get some tea too, sir? Garçon,
okay,
tea. Thank you.
Donna's asking how to refresh. If you're on your computer, Donna, like up in the corner, there'll be a little like arrow that kind of goes in a circle like this. That's the refresh button. So.
Oh, okay. To the comments in my post, I put a pic. All right, I need to go back there. I've been on the road all day today, Brad, so I haven't had a chance to see it. But congratulations on that
Did you
new
tell them
calf.
we're going to be on Two Family Homesteads?
I just did.
I
just did that.
Where was I?
She was reading. That's what happens. We got to tell you this. That's what happens in our live show too. She'll be reading, I'll be talking and not listening. She'll not be listening to me. She'll be talking and I'll be reading and I'm not listening to her, and then we'll repeat each other.
We get repeated.
We get very repeated.
Yeah.
F5 is a refresh page, by the way. So yeah, that's a great way for you to come and be a part of our team. We would like to build it so that we can have monthly meetings over the interweb and learn some of that group chatting stuff so that we can talk about Thrive Life and how to grow our businesses together. We are running out of steam.
I'm done. I'm sorry, guys. We had a like we said earlier, we were on a road trip today. We were going up State Route 42 and ended in Dublin, Ohio, and turned around and came back. And I'm just a little bit road weary and tired.
Two Family Homestead, we were about an hour away from you guys. It's so funny, but we took a road trip today, and every once in a while when you're on YouTube, you'll do these videos, and some of them don't even reach the cutting room floor. I mean, they just aren't working, and we're debating on whether or not we should show you guys our little trip up 42 because it was really uneventful, but there are some really neat places that were up there. Well, they're like mom and pop places.
Mason is kind of a cool place. There's a couple of cool places in Mason, and like Mason has Tucker's ice cream, and then there is a restaurant there called the Wildflower Cafe where they buy everything they serve in their restaurant locally. It comes within like a 20-mile radius, and they have in their restaurant on a big board exactly who they buy everything from. So that's a really cool place. You know, Lebanon has some cool places. But kind of once you get outside of Cedarville, like it's a whole lot of farmland. There's not a lot of historical stuff. There's just a whole lot of farmland.
But there's the cheese place.
Oh yeah, the cheese house was fun.
The cheese house was awesome. Now, but you got pig.
I get cracklins.
Cracklins.
I love cracklins.
Oh man.
So they're
Let me
awesome.
tell you.
Yeah. So it's just we're a little road weary and a little tired because we started out at like what.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock this morning and got home at like 7.
And
no, 8. It was almost 8 when we got home.
So we're gonna say goodnight, but we're also gonna let you guys know that if you're interested in any of this Thrive Life stuff, and if you have any questions,
their son lives in Dublin.
Oh, great! Yeah. Awesome. If you are interested in any of this stuff, please email us and ask us a ton of questions. And if we don't know the answers, we'll certainly find them out. But also. Tomorrow morning at 10:30, I'll be leaving.
Okay, cracklins. Cracklins are. Have you ever had pork rinds? They're kind of like pork rinds, only they're crispier. They're like it's the pig skin with a little bit of fat on it, and then they deep fry it, and it gets really crunchy, and it's just.
Grandma Patty, that's amazing.
It's awesomeness. It's like the best part of bacon. You know, I love them. I love them. So they're horribly bad for you, but
Grandma Patty says, I lived near Cleveland as a child. There was no Interstate 71. State Route 42 was how we traveled in the 50s. That's amazing. Yeah. Very aware of that. Wow. Okay.
Oh, cat lover. She loves cracklins. Yes, cracklins are awesome.
Oh yeah, cracklins are good.
Yes.
Well, anyway, what I was going to say is we are going to do. You're not allowed to travel that day simply as that. Okay, that's funny. We're going to go ahead and we're going to sign off, but. Did I say what I meant to say? I don't even know if I meant to say it.
We're just tired.
We're gonna have Bible study in the morning at 10:30.
Yes.
I hope you'll join us.
Yeah.
It's funny. We always talk about what the culture would call controversial things. We're using YouTube to help us start our own business. We've got the Goin Batty homestead. We homeschool our kids.
You're talking about Jesus.
And then on that, we do Bible study. So we would love for you guys to come and join us at any of those things that even remotely seem interested to you. We are so blessed to be a part of your community. We're honored. It's funny. I don't think that I've really talked about homesteading on a level of, hey, here's how our chickens, here's how we're growing our flock, here's how we're getting better eggs, any of that kind of stuff because of the transition that we've been in. And you guys have been very gracious to understand that we're on a journey and that we're sharing our story with you guys. And we're grateful for that. So thanks for being part of tonight's live stream, this Friday night freestyle where we just kind of go batty and talk about whatever we feel like it. Keep staying tuned to our channel. Believe it or not, I still cannot believe we're at 940 some subscribers. We're blessed and we're looking very forward to being with you much longer on this journey and sharing more with you. If you know folks that might benefit from getting to know us, please have them check out our channel and subscribe if they're interested. Thanks for joining us tonight. We're going to sign off. Guys, we're so grateful and we love you guys as a community. You're so supportive and so encouraging. Have a great night and I'll tell you what, there'll be more updates as we go.
Bye. We're going to bed now.